to access all this information?
Electrical impulses. Every cell knows and talks to every other cell. They exchange 1,000 bits of information between them per second. Cells group together, forming a giant web of communication, which in turn forms matter. Cells get together, take on one form, deform, reform. Makes no difference, it's all the same. Humans consider themselves unique, so they've rooted their whole theory of existence on their uniqueness. One is their unit of measure, but it's not. All social systems we put into place are a mere sketch. 1 + 1 = 2, that's all we've learned. But 1 + 1 is never equal to. There are in fact no numbers and no letters. We've codified our existence to bring it down to human size, to make it comprehensible. We've created a scale so that we can forget its unfathomable scale.
But if humans are not the unit of measure, and the world isn't governed by mathematical laws, what governs all that?
Film a car speeding down a road. Speed up the image infinitely, and the car disappears. So what proof do we have of its existence? Time gives legitimacy to its existence. Time is the only true unit of measure. It gives proof to the existence of matter. Without time,
Many fail to realize that the laws of what we call quantum law is ever-changing like the universe around it. What governs and decides those laws? Interstellar objects and their formations. You see there, in space, in the metaphysical universe, as objects form into matter, concepts unfold into taking form, the arrangement of particles form into atoms, and their interaction gives way to what becomes the equilibrium of stellar formation into stars. What types, which ones will fail and become brown dwarfs, which ones will form into the fusion process that gives birth to stars, and the residual energy left over congeals into gas giants. It is here that the laws of our physics are written and decided, governed by stellar birth. So those laws change and is eternally changing and in motion, synchronized with the rest of the universe.
After the death of Lucifer, his children gathered together for the first time. Let us call them by principalities and say the main one associated to this story will be strife. To keep her safe from the wicked evil of the world was consumed with her father, hid her so that no one would make her into what had been done to the others. Kept away from him and shrouded in lies and false negatives, in order to turn them on their father one day and destroy all they had worked to build, carrying on a command of God from an age-old conflict that says, every Nephilim who bears a child shall be set against them and forced into conflict against their own children. Forced to make the decision between death at the hands of a child, born and raised to hate you, allowing their anger to overwhelm them when they are set against you. Or the decision that would mean defending your own life, even if it means having to kill your own child to do so. This is the curse of Kronos, by the command of God at the beginning of the second war in heaven, a curse that has been passed down to every descendant that followed after the defeat of Samiel and the other warring angels. Highlighted as the judgment against them and their children in the chapters of Enoch. This curse was passed down to everyone in their lineage, to the primordial ones of King Os, to the Titans, to the Olympians, to the Egyptian and the Celtic and so on. Over 220 million years heaven has plagued the seed of my angelic races and was cast into the outer darkness from heaven, far from the presence of God's light, cast down, ere death in a time when faith in God is not found. I learned later that this was all a scheme orchestrated by Satan, one of my mortal incarnations while I am in exile from heaven. But with everything that's happened and I've seen, can I go back? Most importantly, do I even still want to? I mean, not that my perspective of it all is one of the normal humans, far from it, but I can understand some things in ways even the high archangels can't understand. So here I shall tell of my story enshrouded within the power of the darkness. For it is the only thing I can clearly see that was truly a gift from God, as it has never been an object of principality and weighed against me for anything I'd done. Through it all, only the darkness, in my solitude, was God truly there when I needed him, and even when I did know how much I needed him as well. The darkness I know I can trust, for it will never betray me, never abandon me, never forsake me.
Between the time when the oceans drank Atlantis and the rise of the sons of Arius, there was an age undreamed of. And unto this, Conan, destined to bear the jeweled crown of Aquilonia upon a troubled brow. It is I, his chronicler, who alone can tell thee of his saga. Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Astronomers say the Earth, the Moon, the Sun, and the entire solar system are moving toward the bright star Vega, in the constellation Lyra, at about 40,000 miles per hour. Vega, the fifth brightest star in the sky, means he shall be exalted. It is part of the summer triangle and, with fellow triangle stars Deneb, the Lord comes, and Altair, the wounding, tells the Genesis 3:15 story of the seed of woman, who will come, be wounded, and be exalted. Vega is located in the constellation Lyra, the harp, which is pictured as a harp with wings of an eagle. It represents God's Holy Spirit, which comes to live in those who are his children. The meaning of the name of Vega, he shall be exalted, illustrates that the primary function of the Holy Spirit is to exalt Christ in the believer. The association of the Holy Spirit with the harp illustrates the role that the Spirit plays in the praise of God and the power of music in the praise and worship of God. While my life is written in the stars, it's not as awesome as God's prophecies, but it is cool nonetheless. I've been made into a Greek demigod. Huh. Now isn't that redundant? The Solarian faction were the common people of their world that escaped its destruction and colonized the galaxy of Solaris. The other were the rebel survivors who colonized a world in the Orion Nebula, a world we have labeled WASP 182. This is the location on a stellar map. Is the world I had traced the signal of our sonic wave technology's source in the constellation of Lyra, local star titled Vega in the system labeled 42-6. This would be the homeworld of the Draconian as they are sometimes called, and I'm placing the fate of the human race in their hands. Why? Because the ones holding the title as official lineage to our progenitors have forsaken us. I learned some time ago that the coronavirus was augmented and tampered with by the Pleiadians, who view us as unevolved and too chaotic to tolerate on their world, or even among them within space. They are the ones who have sought to withhold our advance in evolution to colonize other worlds. They are the ones who are in constant and changing communication with us and have been for some time now.
Blessed Thy eternal light protects me. Thy divine wisdom guides me. Though my path is wrought with darkness, guide my soul to thy sacred light. Blessed Akrat, thy eternal light protects me. Thy divine wisdom guides me.
Quiet.
Though my path is wrought with darkness.
Shut up! They have our scent. Run!
Step into the light. That would stand against me. Now that is a pity. What will you do now? Bowman, you are forsaken. No help will come. Is that your child? You cannot save him.